ఓకే ఓకే 1000 రూపీస్. ఓకే, లెట్స్ గో. Well, the R1300 GS finally arrives in Hyderabad, and the demo bike is actually the media bike doing rounds at different dealers through various cities. So this is just a first ride impression and all you need to know about the R1300 GS from BMW Motorrad. So let's get started. First of all, we have the chassis. The bike now gets a new sheet metal steel frame and a die-cast aluminium subframe. Now this gives the bike a shorter rear end and makes it easier to flick around. Next comes the suspension. We all know that the GS uses telelever suspension up front when compared to the others. Now this doesn't change here as well. In fact, we now have the Evo telelever suspension up front and the Evo paralever suspension at the back. Now this new setup is supposed to offer better rigidity and better stability and overall better front end feel when compared to the outgoing 1250. Now the rear setup comes up with a piggyback reservoir that offers a stiffer connection to the frame for improved traction. Also, the suspension travel is now good enough with 190 mm of travel up front and 200 mm of travel at the back. Next comes the engine. Now, replacing the 1250 is the new 1300cc powertrain, which is a result of the increased bore and stroke. We also get new cam profiles which allow the engine to breathe easy at all RPMs. The power is now up to 145 bhp and the torque is up to 149 Newton meters. Add to this the bike being lighter by 12 kgs, and now you have an actual riot of a bike to play around with. The gearbox is now relocated below the crankshaft and is integrated into the engine case, which reduces the engine weight by nearly 4 kilos. The drive shaft and the rear axle assembly are designed to feature larger universal joints with decreased angles to reduce deflection of the rotating mass, and this, my friend, results in improved durability. The standard riding modes include Rain, Road, Eco and Enduro. The Pro Pack gets you Dynamic, Dynamic Pro and Enduro Pro modes. In the Pro modes, you can modulate the throttle response, traction control and wheelie control. We do get an electronically adjustable windshield that is adjustable on the fly. We also get hill start control, which can be turned off if you think it is being a little too intrusive or kind of confusing when you start from a standstill. Now, just like Multistrada, even BMW have given us radar assisted ADAS kind of features to include active cruise control, which works similar to adaptive cruise control in cars, which means once you set the cruise control and the vehicle in front of you slows down, the bike will slow down, and once the guy in front picks up speed, the bike will get back to its set cruise speed. We also get lane change warning and frontal collision warning. The 6.5-inch color TFT console remains unchanged with nice and legible fonts and easily usable user interface. The tank is 19 liters now and the seat height is 850 mm. Now the adaptive ride height brings this down to 820 mm when you come to a standstill, and then it goes back up to 850 mm once you start riding. Now design wise, the star-shaped headlight with X pattern will immediately help you recognize that it is the new Gen GS, because there's nothing like it currently in the market. Also, the mammoth stance is unchanged. If you thought that the bike looks very thin and slim in the pics, think again, because when you look at it in the flesh, it still looks huge, almost like a freaking spaceship. The slim and slender design language, however, now lends it an enduro bike kind of a demeanor. Also, the bike gets spoke wheels with tubeless tires, and these are Michelin tires, I believe, and the price still remains between 26 to 27 lakhs on road, just like the previous model, so there's not too much of an increment from the previous model. So that's pretty much it. Let's see how it feels to ride in my first ride motovlog. Okay, let's go. Currently, we'll put it in road mode. Okay, feels a little jumpy because we are not maintaining the right RPM for quick shift either. Downshifts are pretty smooth. Suspension travel is adequate enough. At the end of the day, it is an ADV bike, so it is going to bounce off. Look at the traffic, man. It's just crazy. Yeah, so that is kind of intrusive. So what is happening is the hill hold control is trying to take over each time you come to a standstill, and once you want to release the throttle, it is taking a little bit of a time, so that might get a little confusing and a little intrusive. The seat height adjusts itself each time you come to a standstill at 820 mm, and then it goes up to 850. Earlier we had the low seat option, so I have to check whether we have the low seat option for this one as well. The low seat option really makes things a lot more easier, because what happens there is that seat height is significantly reduced. You sit into the motorcycle, like what is the case with the Africa Twin, and then it becomes a lot more easier to maneuver such a huge bike. Yeah, it is 12 kgs lighter, but it's still quite heavy for what it is. And we are riding the GS in chock-a-block city traffic. Not a pleasant sight, and not a pleasant flight. Not where it belongs. It belongs on the freeways, on the highways, where you let loose, unleash it, and then it goes like a cruise ship. The other trophy color is more of a Instagrammer's favorite, because it pops colors like crazy, and it looks absolutely stunning in the trophy attire. But then this one, yeah, it is like a limousine on two wheels. So damn good. It kind of reminds a little bit, dare I say that, of the 850 GS-A. Yeah, 850 is my personal favorite GS. If I were to pick up a GS, maybe I'll pick up an 850, because it's so streamlined, so easy to jump around and maneuver. It's phenomenal, and it comes loaded with all the goodies. This one is a little too bulky. I think people who are 6 feet, it's ideal for them. It's like tailor-made for them, and tailor-made for the international market, where the average height is around 6. Here the Indians, being around 5'6" tall, these kind of tall heavy machines become a little bit of a hassle. But anyway, it's a beautiful evening here in Hyderabad, and we are just coasting along, and the Creta guy wants to take an immediate left from the extreme right. This is how people change their mind. Okay, the road mode, pretty good response. Let's change to dynamic. With the throttle down, you can change the riding mode on the fly. The throttle response is good. The braking, or engine braking itself, is very good. Just casually ambling around a third gear, push it. This is not the place to do that. Okay, the rumblers, do they rumble the GS a wee bit? Because I was hoping it will just absolutely glide over it. Yeah, the subtle rumblers can't. So this again becomes a see for me. Immediate reach to the horn is something I need to get used to. I usually hold the handle here, so it is not reachable. So I have to hold it closely so that I reach the horn. The joystick, the jog dial, and the menu access and the user interface is pretty simple. And this TFT console is an absolute delight. Oh, there you go. There you have the handling part. Just turns in and out effortlessly, perfectly poised. Better than the 1250? Yes, much better. Downshifts are working fine, there's no issue whatsoever, and you're riding towards the finest part of Hyderabad, the Durgam Cheru cable bridge, and then you have all the Mindspace IT hub. Ooh la la. So once you get a hang of it, like especially me coming from riding these 400s recently, not too much of heavy bike riding, and then of course my 6R is a super sport, again coming up and riding this mammoth GS takes a little getting used to. Once you get a hang of it, and then it's like just let it go and let it play. That starlight kind of a headlamp is something that grows on you with time. The first time I saw it, not a fan. See that lag? It takes a wee bit of time to, actually wake up. And once you get used to this chassis, which is very, very well balanced and very, very friendly, you can just coast along without putting your foot down at all. That's how amazing this thing is. Go this way because it's all clogged up. This is peak hour traffic for you. See how the streets are clogged up. Just go there, roam around these empty stretches for a while and get a hang of the GS 1300. Pretty tall first gear actually. You see, it's ready to literally lift off. Now up front you have the jam again. So let's just turn around here. Beautiful section of road here for you to enjoy. So that's pretty much it. Kind of enjoying this first ride impression of the GS 1300. What do you guys think? Have you ridden it? It is available for a short span of time at JSP Motorrad. So it is still a little jerky, the quick shifter, right out the mark. But still other things are on point, you can say. So the first impression, the 1300 GS has the spirit of GS, has this boxer character, better poise, better balance, better handling. Making it a far more easier bike. Live with. I think I'm the first guy to actually review it in such a clogged up peak hour traffic streets, but at least I got a first impression. So the seating is brilliant, the handlebar is right on point, and boy, look at the traffic up ahead. I am using the clutch because, see, downshifts are good, but again, if I upshift, there's a little bit of a jerk and a jump that's happening. without the clutch. Anyway, enjoying this amazing evening ride on board one of the finest cruise ships on two wheels, the GS 1300R, the latest and the greatest from BMW Motorrad, is here to again up the game, up the ante, and up the spirit of GS. Yeah, they're not trying to outsmart anyone here. They're not trying to take on the likes of Africa Twin, or they're not here to take on the likes of Multistrada V4, just to up the game and performance and have a 200 horsepower engine with the body of an adventure bike. But they are actually trying to improve the GS and make it a far more friendly, usable machine and a better handling machine than what it was earlier. And I think they have succeeded in doing that in grand style.